Kung Fu Portwood's TikTok crash out. So she was doing her usual TikTok live situation with her co-host, and she started talking about this guy that she has been dating, right? So this is not the first time we've heard about Kung Fu having a new boyfriend. Like, she's been talking about this for the past month or so. However, she discovered a lot of disturbing information about this man that she's seeing live on air, and it was insane. And on top of that, she also revealed that she was dating somebody else at the same time, and the whole thing was a mess. So Amber is reportedly dating a cop, or dated a cop from North Carolina who's in his 40s, and she believes that he was secretly recording her. She doesn't say exactly what they were doing when he was allegedly recording her in secret. However, given his criminal record, which we found out about during the live, she might be hinting at the fact that this guy might have been recording a secret X tape. Yeah, because when her co-host read through this guy's rap sheet, we found out that he had been arrested and faced voyeurism charges. There were allegations that he was using his police body cam to record himself being intimate with women and all sorts of things like that. So if that is the case, and Amber, was letting him kind of like rail her in his uniform, which, listen, girl, I can't blame you. I can't blame you, but if that is the case, girl, she has every reason to be scared, every reason to be nervous, because this man sounds like an absolute psycho. And he already has it in his record that he had been doing this to other women or other victims. And so on top of that, in the articles that pop up when you search this man's name, you find that this guy is a very hateful guy. He's kind of like an incel, right? So he sees women as inferior to men. He doesn't like that there are women in the police force. He feels like we have no business being police officers. He's homophobic. He's racist. He is just not a good person at all. So that entire ordeal was just, kind of like this when you're watching the TikTok live. Like, it kind of leaves you speechless, so to speak, okay? And, I'm going to let Amber tell you the story herself, but she also says that she was offered before anybody. So before Farrah Abraham, $1 million deal from Vivid Entertainment to release an X tape. Listen, do I believe that Vivid offered her money in exchange for a tape? Absolutely. I think they did this for everybody in the Teen Mom franchise because they're creeps, right? And a lot of creepy people are into that category of these videos, right? However, do I believe that they wanted her the most and they went for her over the other girls from Teen Mom OG? No, I don't believe so. I do think that Farrah was the first choice. Farrah, or who are all the girls from Teen Mom OG? It's Farrah, Macy, Caitlyn, and Kung Fu, right? So of all those girls, it makes sense to me that Farrah, first of all, was the only one that took the bait, but I think that they would have gone to Farrah and Macy first. But y'all let me know in the comment section what you think. And in the meantime, I do have some of the videos from Amber's live crash out. Shout out to the Reddit girlies for these screen grabs, okay? Take a look. Let me know what you think in the live chat, and I'll be bringing your comments up on screen.
You think he recorded you?
What do you think? What do you think? And then all of a sudden it's, gone. What do you think? Man, I gotta call the police. Right? Yeah, right?
I don't know. Whoa. Hold up.
Man, what do you mean? If that happened to, like, a cousin of yours that was a woman, you would say call the police. And let them know the name. Let them know what happened. And then go.
I know, but here's my question.
Ain't no questions anymore.
What are the police gonna go do? Knock on the door and what?
I'm scared that I got recorded, and I have every right to know. As a person who's that.
I do believe that Amber's kind of high here. I'm with her. I understand her distress. I would be distressed as well. However, I think she's high during this recording, and maybe that guy that she talks to is as well. Oh, because he just seems like, he doesn't seem to grasp what exactly is happening in this conversation. And it's a little bit crazy to me. Again, I feel badly for Amber. This should not happen to anybody. Like, this is very perverse, creepy, unethical behavior on the part of her former boyfriend. So I agree, Cynthia. Creepy AF. And y'all know I love a man in uniform. Do y'all remember when I went to Le Bal des Pompiers, the firefighters ball? Because I love a man in uniform. Yes, I do. And so Cynthia had said, I don't know how Amber has a boyfriend or someone she's seeing. Meanwhile, I have friends who are a catch with no luck. Well, look at the people that Amber is seeing. There was Andrew Glennon, unemployed. He had a history of stalking women. Now there's this police officer, Officer Freaky. What did he do? He was recording women without their consent. He doesn't even like women as people. And then prior to that, who else did she have? She had Matt, the deadbeat to all of these like kids everywhere, right? That he even lied about like paternity over these kids and whatnot. Like, she's kind of one of those, like, I'll take whatever I can get sort of girlies. Whereas your peeps, Cynthia, are probably like holding out for somebody who brings something, anything to the table, right? Like, if they lowered their standards this low, they too would be able to pull one of these. Exhibit A, this weird cop that Amber accidentally got herself wrapped up with, because this guy sounds like a nightmare, right? Rachel says that guy was able to keep his job as a cop after. What is this world coming to? I have to go back and pull up the article. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play you guys. That's a good question, by the way. They got rid of him and he was facing criminal charges. So that's not the case, but I'll pull up the article so that we could read it together, okay? I'll do that while we listen to Amber talk about how she was offered $1 million from Vivid.
There's like the Kim Kardashian Ray J.
I got a son and I got a daughter. I've been asked twice by Vivid Video to make you know what before anybody, before any of the girls on the show. I said no twice. One for a couple hundred G's, the other one for $1 million plus and 11% of everybody's videos.
Yeah.
I said no. I said no twice. Nah, so, I'm good. I'm fucking good. I don't want to be famous for that. You need to take this a little bit more seriously. That's right.
Like, why do you think? Seriously. Hold on.
So there you go. She said, no, I am not doing any of that for Vivid. Well, listen, you guys, it was a great question that I was just asked about what went down with the police officer when it was found out that he was behaving so inappropriately with his dates. And I've got the full article here, so I figured we might as well go ahead and read it together. It's kind of like clockwork, but like sometimes my phone or my notifications will be chill all day. And as soon as I start recording, all of a sudden I'm getting messages left and right. My wrist is vibrating nonstop. Jeez. All right, so here it is. Let me pull this up. Hopefully it's showing up for you guys. Let me know in the chat if everything is all well and good. I don't blame her for saying no, honestly. Yeah, she was smart too. Honestly, that corn industry is not a good industry to get into. I know a lot of people, they need money, they need fast money or whatever, but that is just not the way to go. Jaleesa is joining us from Roma. Hey, girl. We're talking about Amber's TikTok crash out about this cop that she used to date who she believes was secretly recording her. And lo and behold, he had a history of secretly recording people or women that he would sleep with. So this is an article that talks about him being reprimanded in the police force. Okay. So it is from the Indy Star. It says Indy officer supposed to protect women used intel for own ex-crimes, court docs say. An Indiana police officer has been suspended after his arrest on voyeurism charges, according to court documents. Officer Shayna Decker, a 25-year veteran, and she did say that the guy that she was dating had about like 25, 26 years of experience, faces numerous felony and misdemeanor charges in connection with alleged crimes dating back to 2019, including that he took videos of sexual encounters with women without their knowledge and received illicit acts at massage parlors he once investigated for human trafficking. So that's just a whole other level. Right. According to an arrest affidavit, the investigation began September 10th when another Indianapolis Metropolitan Police officer found a USB drive in a department vehicle that contained the recordings, which were taken with a department-issued laptop. This guy is a fool, a true fool. You are using work property to commit crimes. The officer called in the department's special investigations unit to take over the case. The same day, Decker was placed on administrative duty with no police equipment or law enforcement authority as the investigation continued, according to Chief Chris Bailey. For the next 3 months, police served search warrants on Decker's devices. In 3 of the videos, Decker is seen in full uniform with his officer radio on and asked one of the women to listen for his number being called in case he was dispatched. Multiple women from the videos told detectives they did not give Decker permission to film the encounters. One said she would never give consent to being filmed and felt sick and violated. Another woman told detectives that Decker had stated, quote, "Females are irrelevant." Why are we screwing men that talk like this? When they were together and would criticize women on the force for their weight, physical appearance, and how they spoke. He has so much hate for people that are together for the same sex, people of a different minority. He does not think women should be in law enforcement. And overall, he thinks women are pretty much worthless, the woman told the detective. The affidavit also alleges Decker recorded himself receiving sexual acts at massage parlors around Indianapolis. Detectives said they found searches on his phone for parlors that offered sexual services. Decker had previously been part of investigations into human trafficking at massage parlors around the city. Police said in the affidavit they believe he used his knowledge from his investigations to return to the park. So you're investigating these people for human trafficking, which are very, very serious crimes and like heartbreaking crimes, right? And then you go back to be a client, and not only to be a client, to patronize that sort of establishment, but to record yourself doing that. Friday, the police department announced Decker has been suspended and recommended to be terminated by the Civilian Police Merit Board. Quote, "The allegations uncovered in this investigation represent a clear violation of public trust and are completely unacceptable. This behavior has no place in our society," Bailey said in a prepared statement. "My heart goes out to the victims of this inexcusable misconduct, and I want to assure them that their voices have been heard. I commend the courage and strength of those who came forward to help ensure accountability." So this is not the first, second, or third. This is the 5th Indiana cop to get wrapped up in that sort of behavior and that sort of investigation and being fired and whatnot. Isn't it crazy, you guys? Absolutely freaking insane. What a sicko, what a perv, what a creep, right? Like, where does she find these people? Like, what dating apps is Amber on? I'm so curious about that. Nikki says, how can he say women are usually, or I guess useless, but that's who you need to get your rocks off and then lose your career over it? Exactly. Like, it just doesn't make sense. The people who hate women the most, the biggest misogynists, are so obsessed they can't live without a woman. They can't live without a woman's touch, a scent, nothing. Ronnie says, well, at least she has proof of this, but she will always end up in the weirdest situations. And that's the thing. She doesn't learn, you know, like, things happen, right? Like in life, like you can end up in a toxic relationship or this or that, but you learn, and going forward, you don't make these mistakes. But the girl, she just keeps on going down this route. But at the same time, when you look at people like Amber, when you look at people like Janelle, right? Like, are they gonna pull quality men? No, not really. This is kind of their dating pool. So it is kind of difficult in that respect as well for them, I think. BR says, so Amber dated a white supremacist. Well, it sounds like she did, right? And a homophobe as well. Mind you, Amber is bisexual. So I don't know if she was aware of this or not, right? I don't know the extent or the depth of their relationship, how much time they spent together, but this is just some information that came out about him. Tadisha says, I don't fault Amber in the situation, but how does she get herself in these crazy, exactly, relationship situations? She's just looking for, you know, something, anything to spend time with her. And this is what happens, right? When you're not properly vetting people, you're not Googling people, you're not asking good questions. Rachel says, unfortunately, some jobs are super public and won't hold their employees accountable for anything. Glad he's being investigated at least. Hold his creepy ass accountable. I agree. Tyrell says, quality men don't want drama and trash. Women who've been run through. Damn, not run through. People seem to forget that nowadays. Damn, I don't know about run through, but quality in general, because, you know, Amber, I personally would not consider her to be a woman of quality just because of what we know about her, right? her temper, the fact that she's a deadbeat to both of her children, like these sorts of things. Has no desire to really do anything productive. All she does is just sit around, kind of like allegedly, seemingly high on TikTok live all day, every day, just being paranoid and stuff. Like the pickings are slim for Ms. Portwood, right? And she's a domestic AB user. So how many people are lining up, right, to get with somebody like that? Chastity says, wow, she really needs to stop dating. And I completely agree. At this point, Kung Fu, it might be time for you to just throw in the towel for the time being. Work on yourself. You've got all the time in the world. And apparently you've got all the money in the world, because you keep on bragging about these millions of dollars that you've been offered and whatnot. So why don't you put that into developing yourself, right? Just saying. And yeah, that X tape, no comment on that. I don't even really want to get into that too much, to be honest with you guys. Again, I do not believe that Vivid went to Kung Fu first out of all the girls on Teen Mom OG to offer her $1 million for a tape. I think that they did indeed go to Farrah first, and they probably went to Macy as well. Then Amber and Caitlyn also. But Farrah is the only one who took that bait.